Hey, it's Dan Brown, Senior Service Consultant of MGE Management Experts, and I'm back with another Power Program testimonial. This is with Dr. Ryan Detmer out of Blue Ash, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. Dr. Detmer, thank you for taking the time and being here. Welcome.
Thanks.
Doctor, I would love to know what things were like prior to the Power Program. I know that you had a decent practice, so you weren't in any sort of ruin and, oh my gosh, things are horrible. You had a good running practice, but tell me a little bit about why you considered MGE and what were some of the challenges at that time?
We had plateaued for probably 2 to 3 years in terms of our collections. Like you said, we did have a big practice, and it was successful by all means. But I was getting really burned out, and I was only in my mid 30s, 34, 35, 36, and I said, something's got to change. I can't keep going like this. We need more structure, more policy. We were in, as Sabri said, probably one of the worst PPO practices she had ever seen. So I hang my hat on that. I wanted a little more freedom, a little better quality of life in terms of work-life balance. And essentially, I just wanted to really stop killing myself and just looking forward to retirement as soon as I could, just to get kind of a new lease on my practice life.
Fantastic. And how is that now? Tell me a little bit about that's the before. Tell me a little bit about the after. Have you gotten that? Like, what have been some of the effects of doing the Power Program?
Yeah, it's been great. We started in January of 2018 with our first seminar at MGE. So we're almost 3 years into this project, and life is great. Our practice is probably going to double from where we started at the end of this year. And up about 18 to 20% from last year, despite this the pandemic that's going on, being shut down for a couple of months. Some patients being a little leery of coming back in. We've added probably 8 or 9 positions within the office, so I'm really happy and proud of that we're able to provide that many more people a nice job and a nice office and doing what they love. So that's cool. We're helping a lot of patients out. In terms of me, my life has gotten better. I brought on an office manager who a lot of you guys know, Randy Sears. He went through the training with me. He runs the show. I used to be the main producer, the office manager, and the landlord. Now I'm just the landlord, which is nice. That's an easy job. I've got 2 associates that, I give as much to them as they want and they can handle. So they are super successful, really, really doing well. I've limited the amount of patients that I see and, just do the cases that I want to do. I'm probably, I'm in the chair Tuesday and Wednesday, and from 8 to 2 Friday. Thursday, I do a half day with some consults and our executive meetings, and I leave around lunchtime. So it's gotten great. This is where I want to be, and I'm really comfortable and liking my new schedule, and things are going well.
Wow, fantastic. Well, I really want to know a little bit more about 2020, for a number of practices that don't know anything about MGE and the challenges that have happened in 2020. It's been a real struggle. It sounds like you've absolutely dominated. Tell me how doing the Power Program helped you through 2020, if you wouldn't mind.
No, that's a good question. It taught, we had systems in place that, if I hadn't gone through it and we're going through this, pandemic and being shut down, I would have been just as lost as anybody else. But yeah, with knowing what we know through the training that we've received, we've got control. We've got know-how on many different areas within the practice and outside the practice, meaning the patients, so with staff and with patients, organizations, systems, during, I would say what I call the shutdown, which was for us mid-March through maybe early May, so about 7-8 weeks. You guys were doing a lot of live streams, Jeff and Sabri. I tuned in from my back porch and watched a lot of those. And really, the checklists and the items that they had for us to work on to be prepared for whenever that reopening was, really helped get me focused. We were probably one of the I guess the most accessible practices during the shutdown. I got so many new patients that said, wow, I called 20 offices and you're the only one to answer the phones. You're the only one that's open. You're the only one that's willing to see me. I've got this problem. It blew my mind. They say, I have a regular dental office and no one's returned my call. No one's gotten back to me. So, who knows? Would I have been one of those guys to just shut the doors for a couple of months and not answer the phones? I would like to think not, but you know what? Having my MGE training, we were able to help a lot of people, and it was a lot of good PR, and it really made us successful coming out of it.
Fantastic. Well, I think it's fantastic that you were there for these people, because we heard that over and over with our clients that people had been doing just that, calling 10, 20, 30 offices, driving 40, 60 miles to get to our clients. And our clients not only were there for these patients, but managed to make it through profitably, or at least break even during a time when people really needed them. So well done for being there for your patients.
Thank you.
I would also like to know, if you wouldn't mind, you talked about you were running into burnout, you were running into overwork, and so your numbers are phenomenal. Your organization sounds amazing. I've had the pleasure of working with your office manager, so I know what it looks like organizationally. How has this impacted your life personally, even beyond the financial aspect?
I would say just being able to breathe a little bit, and that's not, that has nothing to do with the financial aspect. That has grown, but like I said, I had a decent practice before. I made a comfortable living for our living standards with our family, but it's just a little more free time to work on myself. I've got 3 very active kids. We had 5 fall sports this fall, so my evenings usually consist of driving somewhere with some sort of group of our kids and neighbor kids, carpooling. So it's enabled me to kind of not miss or be a little more present for that. And when I say present, not always just being present physically, but mentally, and just being there, being in the moment, enjoying it, because I'm not so fried.
Love that. Love that. I want to ask you a question about your office manager. You brought him on. He had no dental background. He did pretty much right from the beginning. He jumped on the MGE training. What has that meant to have an office manager that's MGE trained, that had no dental background? How has that worked out now that you've seen him go through the program and his value in the practice?
It's amazing. He came on. I started with MGE and I didn't have an office manager. You guys told me I needed to get an office manager, and I was luckily able to find him the next month, so it didn't take long. He bought into everything in terms of the travel and the training, and he took to it. He was actually doing business school at night, getting his college degree, and after about a month or two going down to MGE, he said, I'm learning more at MGE about running a business than I did in college. So it's been great having him do the training right along with me. We're able to travel and hang out together, bounce ideas off of each other, because he knows what I know. So I'm not trying to, having to describe and teach him everything that I've been learning, because he's doing it too. And he's really coming to his own in terms of kind of running the practice, managing the staff, marketing, the whole 9 yards. So he's just doing a phenomenal job.
Fantastic. Well done. Really well done. I would love to know a little bit about the office culture internally. How are things now? With the MG program and all the training that you've done, what's it like? What's the climate?
There, and you guys warned us of this. Not everyone likes change. So you're gonna replace some employees, and that's fine. You gotta work at finding that right team that wants to buy in and be successful. we've got a pretty darn good group now. We had our rough patches where, it just wasn't for some people. They just want to keep doing what they're doing and not change and not be held accountable. That just doesn't work for us now. With that, we were able, even though we're going through a pandemic, I paid a lot of money in bonuses out this year. And it's pretty cool to be able to do that. They love receiving those bonuses. We're doing really well. My associates, they talk to their dental school friends, and some of them, aren't doing so great. And some of that's just due to the area that they're practicing in. Areas hit hard and shut down, things like that. So we're fortunate to be where we are, doing what we're doing. And we got a good team. They really kind of, have embraced, what we're doing. And, everyone's kind of doing their thing and crushing it right now.
That's excellent news. Really, truly. I know that when you came on to MGE, just like every other client, there were concerns about MGE, the travel or the cost. What were your concerns? And truly, honestly, what were some of the things that you were maybe on the fence about?
Yeah, having to go once a month and missing work, essentially. It's like, how the heck am I supposed to do better if I'm, taking time off, I had to convince my wife too that, I'm going to be doing this for a couple of years, buckle up. So she understood, she saw where we were with the practice. It's pretty much the time away, and it's how, just to wrap your head around coming down for, I didn't do a full week each month. I did usually, flew out Wednesday afternoon and was at MGE most of the time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what worked for me because, like I said, I didn't have an office manager when I started. I was the main producer. I had another associate at that time, but I was still the main producer, and I just didn't feel like I could be away for that long of a time. But we got a schedule that worked for me, and we were down there every month, and that was my biggest hesitation, just the time away.
Okay, good. Totally understood. Really, one of the last things I want to ask you is if, I'm not paying you to do this, you're not being incentivized to do this, you can confirm that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what would be from your heart, what you would tell another dentist who's on the fence? Should I do this power program or should I not? What would your advice be and why?
I would say hands down, do it. It gives you the tools to not only get your practice in the right spot, but it trains you and teaches you to self-diagnose yourself and self-diagnose your practice to where you can figure your own problems out. I'm sure if Mary was in on this call, who I work with quite a bit at MGE, she doesn't hear from us for months at a time. We feel that we're very, just able to do our own thing. We call and ask questions here and there if we need some help, but you guys truly train us to do it on our own. So we're not relying on you guys for everything, but you're there if we need you, which is great.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Doctor, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Congratulations to both you, Randy, and really, truly the entire team, because I know your team and it's a stellar team. Congratulations on what you've achieved. Well done on expanding despite COVID, and all the best for 2021 and continued success.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Now, for you watching this, you too could have this same success. The MGE Power Program has helped over 1,200 of your dental colleagues make a combined $9.9 billion in additional revenue. And yes, that's billion with a B. And to give you an idea, after the first year of doing the program, the average Power client sees an 89% increase in collections. Within 5 years, it's a sustained 232% increase. What would that mean to you? Well, if you're collecting $50,000 a month on average, that's about $95,000 a month after 1 year, and $166,000 a month 4 years later. Even better, these doctors are doing these numbers while focusing on patient care, doing the type of dentistry they love to do, not just what the insurance covers, having a great team and enjoying coming to work in the morning, assuming control of their practice and schedule, being able to take time off and not working excessive hours, being able to sleep at night because they feel secure about the future of their practice, and knowing that they always have unlimited access to a top MGE consultant to get help and solve problems together. And what makes this all possible? Revolutionary education and coaching on practice management systems that not only work, but that continue to work again and again as their practices grow. It's truly a case where some extra work now makes your life and the rest of your career far more rewarding. So what's next? Well, you need to find out if the MGE Power Program would be a good fit for your practice. And listen, don't wait. Enrollment for this year is limited. So go to mgeonline.com/power program and fill out the form today to learn more. Or call us now at 1-800-640-1140. We're here and we're ready to bring these same results to you. We want you to succeed, and we know how to make that happen.